Hey, I'm Matthew Jennings,
I'm Laura.
Christian. Benjamin.
and this is the week 3 video lecture and discussion response. We're evaluating the ethics of marketing and why, and what we deciding what's ethical, what is unethical, and what's a little bit of a gray area. We're not exactly sure if it's ethical or not. For number one, you have to. Let's say a company creates a game that encourages people to go outside, but that game encourages them also to take risks, like go off a cliff or go into a dangerous forest or go into private property, kind of like Pokemon Go. That's what comes up to mind with me. A lot of Pokemon Go had to come out when it first came out. It didn't have a warning that said, "Warning, don't do unnecessary dangerous stuff to risk your life just to get a certain Pokemon." But now, I think after a lot of children got hurt, they had to put in a warning that said, don't do this crazy stuff just to get a Pokemon. And I think that's common sense. I don't think it's the company's responsibility if they get hurt. For just to protect themselves, they should do something, because they can easily get sued by any mother or father that thought that the child was encouraged to do something and they got in trouble or something. So they should if I was you, I'll put a warning in there. So I consider this more a gray area, because the company can do more by putting a warning out, but it's not their fault that these people are doing insane stuff just to advance the game or something. So that's my take on number one.
I think it's pretty unethical because it is unnecessary. So it would be very easy for them to go back and look at their algorithm or the maps that they've got set up and stuff, and kind of put no-go zones that are by cliffs or by unprotected waters, so the ocean, lakes and stuff like that, just so they're ensuring that people aren't getting hurt playing their game, so making their game less harmless. So it's just easy steps that could be taken to take away unnecessary dangers that they're encouraging, I guess.
Yeah, I say it's also great because as long as there's a warning on the game, then the company can be sued and it's fine because everybody's taking their own risks playing the game.
So for the second one, encouraging your client to buy research services that is nice to know but probably won't make much of a difference. I don't think this is very unethical. It's just the ancestry stuff that's kind of going around at the moment. I don't think for many people that's going to be life-changing or really put them in a direction of life. It's kind of nice to know. It's interesting to look back as far as you can and see where you actually come from, but it's not anything that's going to make a massive difference to people.
It says right there, nice to know. So for me, that says ethical, because I want to know my blood and what I come from. I want to know my history. So for me, this is a good thing, not even close to a bad thing. But some people may say, oh, it's good to not know. It's good that you don't know everything about the world or something crazy like that. But for me, it's good to know where you come from, and any form of research like Ancestry.com and stuff like that, I'm all for it.
Yeah, and anyway, I think it's difficult because they're not they're not telling you that you have to buy this research service. They're just saying it's nice to know, so staying ethical. If they were saying yeah, you have to buy this thing to know this will not be helpful in your life, and anyway you have to buy it, the service, that will not be ethical. But in this case they're just saying yeah, it's nice to know, it's not gonna change anything in your life, but it's nice to know. So
yeah, it kind of hurt to know more than to know less.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 3, your marketing research company has more business than you can handle, so you outsource the services to someone else. Your client was expecting your company to perform the research. So I think now more thing about it. If your client expects you to do that research, and I think that's unethical, because you told them that you're going to do the research, and they trust you to do that because you have the experience, the knowledge, the skills in performing that best research plan. But if you outsource it, you risk someone else doing a bad job. Even though if you know that they're very qualified, you should tell your client that you're outsourcing, but it says right here that your client was expecting your company to do it, so that tells me you're not telling them. So I would say that's pretty unethical. Because if I were to do that, if my business wants some research and they're outsourcing, I'll be pretty upset. I'm spending money on that business, not the other businesses. So that's my take on this.
Yeah, but I think like that would stay ethical. Like if you're telling the client before, like in that case, of course, they're saying like he wasn't expecting that. But if you're telling your clients like you want him before to outsource the service, that you're not gonna do it by yourself because you have too much business to do it. I think it stay ethical. Just like he knows what he's expecting to. Like he knows that you're not gonna do the job. He's paying like another company, not you. Like, of course, he can say no, like, I mean, it's up to him. I think it was stay ethical, like, if you want it before. That's the first thing that you have to do, like, is respect to your clients.
It'll be ethical if they know. It'll be unethical if you don't tell them.
Yeah,
They
that
will
would be
do it
unethical
anyways.
if they don't know it before,
Yeah.
you know.
Definitely. So number 4, as a store manager, you uncover store employees have invented a code that announces over the speakers when there's a pretty girl in store. We have a price code check in aisle 4 that is meant to inform the other employees to visit the aisle and see the pretty girl. I think this is highly unethical if you don't do anything about this, just because it's creating not a very good culture at all. And if people happen to find out, higher management, the media, that you let this slide, like it's really not going to look good on you or your company, and it's kind of promoting like objectification of the pretty girl that walks in the store.
Yeah, and it just takes one person to like speak and say that this is happening in the store, and then it just blow up and go all over the news and all over the media.
At any time,
Yeah.
like, the manager can
And it just be
fire at
crazy.
any time. I think that you should just like start to warn them about that, then ask his employees to stop doing this, and then if they're not stopping to doing this, you should just start like to make some sanction, like you fired or you suspended like for 1-2 weeks or something like that. Like they definitely need to do something about it. Like cannot let those kind of things happen in a shop.
Back then you can get away with it, not nowadays.
Definitely not.
Now, number 5, in the first month of being a human resource manager of popular theme park in Florida, you realize the words chosen on the job test are easier for young people to understand. Just as how would you handle a guest if you want to find a free Wi-Fi spot, or how would you handle an out of control Justin Bieber guest? Is this ethical? I think it's more gray area because you need to know Wi-Fi hotspots. If you don't understand what a Wi-Fi hotspot is, then you shouldn't be working as somewhere like, in Florida theme park like Disney, because Disney may have a lot of Wi-Fi hotspots, and you're, as a worker, supposed to solve the customer, the employee, or the visitor of that theme park, But if you don't know all the details of that theme park, like a Wi-Fi hotspot, then you shouldn't be working there. You should know most aspects, especially something as simple as free hotspot. But does adding Justin Bieber to out of control guests take out older people? And I guess there's no reason to include the whole Justin Bieber, so that may be a little unethical just because you include Justin Bieber. But you should ask the question, how would you handle an out of control guest? So in that part, because they need to
Not
handle
especially Justin Bieber guest.
Yeah,
just a regular guest.
just a
Like,
regular
don't worry
out of
about the
control
fact
guest.
that
Doesn't have to be
Bieber or
Justin
not.
Bieber guest. So I think that's a little unethical. So I need some more gray area overall.
Yeah, it's
fine.
I think for that first question, like handle a guest who wanted a free Wi-Fi spot, like it is something that can be learned as well. So like responding to that answer doesn't have to be, I know all of these spots right now, because you're applying for the job, It's not like you need to know everything about the park already. So I think that one's fine, you would direct them to the nearest one that you then learn. But Justin Bieber, like that's totally unnecessary because not everyone knows who he is. So, that older generation doesn't have a fair go at actually understanding that question.
And then, anyway, like it's not really useful to know like who is Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Like when you're walking in the theme park in Florida, like except if it's like a music park, like if not, it's not really useful. Like you're not gonna go to Disney and say, oh, who is Justin Bieber?
Yeah.
Like, but the free Wi-Fi spot is really like important.
Yeah.
But even if they don't really know what is Wi-Fi, in the worst case you can just tell them or explain them like what is Wi-Fi and where the free Wi-Fi spot.
Yes, that's very simple to explain.
Yeah.
Nothing hard.
Finally, we have to discuss the decreasing population in each country and what consequences of this and what a country can do to maintain a favorable population growth. Now, Western civilization does have a problem with growth because to sustain replacement weight, you need 2.01 births per woman. And we currently, in the US, we have above that, but not in Europe. In Europe, they have under that. So the only thing you can do about that is, well, right now, immediate fix is immigration to get more people in. The consequences of having decreased population is as you get an older population, that's less people working. That's less people in the workforce. And that's more people on benefits, that someone has to pay for them. That's happening with Japan right now too. The population is getting very old and the younger population is having a hard time paying for that. So you also can try to have maybe a national campaign to encourage people to have more children. But in our society, we are discouraged from having children because we want to focus more on our careers. So this is a very tough topic, and overall, immigration does not fix this because immigrants then become like that country, and then they don't have a lot of children. So
I think it would especially like help the women who are pregnant, like pregnant women. Like I know that in Europe they're not earning like a lot of money when pregnant, and like they cannot work at the same time. So I think they should like help them a little bit more so they could like make some children and not just only have to work like all the time. So they're thinking like, oh, I cannot make any more children because I have to work and I'm not gonna earn any money. I have to rent the house and everything, you know.
yeah.
Yep.
Yep.